Yeah.
Because I think that being, whatever protector, right, or telling some, or being harsh, right, some of those things, right,
Yeah.
like I think that's that stern word. And if somebody's stern, it doesn't mean they're no longer kind.
Yeah.
But
So what's going on, Britt?
not
How's life?
much. Just life is good. Just hanging out, doing some
Yeah.
work, all of that fun
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
Good. Good. Good.
thanks for jumping on.
Yes. Thanks
Welcome,
for.
welcome everyone to Sip Chat Podcast.
Yes. Yay! Yeah. And the crowd goes wild, right?
I mean, as we know, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Shon. What's
Yes,
up?
and we are here. And today we are
Yeah.
talking about what makes you you,
Yes.
which I think is fun. I think that's such a fun
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah. I think that's a. I think it's a good topic.
Yeah. I mean, so to kind of dive right in without even like talking about, our specifics here, what do you think actually makes someone who they are?
Man, I think something that makes somebody who they are is the percentage of what they are. A, all the time, the percentage of what you do all the time or how you are all the time, but also B, the percentage of how you are by yourself and when no one's around.
I
So
think
I
that's a
think
big
that's
one. Yeah, that's a big one.
yeah, I think that one is more important because people can fake and act and do all kinds of stuff and put this perception on like, hey, I'm this way or I'm this type of person or I'm this and this. And people say, oh yeah, that person is this person is that. But when it comes down to it, that makes you is how you are when nobody's around.
Hmm.
How you think when nobody's around, when it's just you at your house, right? Or you with your no guests, right? It could be if you live at home, you live with people, you live with somebody, you got kids, cousins, mom, dad, brother, auntie, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. How you are in those intimate settings when either nobody's around or those that tight groups around, that's who you really are. Don't try to trick anybody. You can trick a lot of people. You can't trick old Sarge. I'm going listen.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Listen, that's
you're
who you really.
describing, right, that like who we think that we are can be
Yeah,
different than how other people experience.
1,000%.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, we put on this little and let's not get it confused with like in a work setting, like being professional at work, right? That's not, you're this is what you're doing for your job. That you have to do that for work. But you in your core, setting when you're out with your friends and you're putting on this thing, this mask, that's, could be what people think, but how you really are, it's when you're by yourself.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, ideally, right? Ideally, we're
Yeah.
the same person, right? Ideally, we're the
Yeah.
same person as we are at home and by ourselves as we are out in the world with other people, right? Because
Yeah.
isn't it easier to be one person?
I think it's easier to be one person, but I know for 1,000% fact that's not the common theme with a lot of, I'm not even gonna say a lot of people, with some people
Yeah.
from from personal experience, that this person, he or she acts this way out. But it's been some times where you're kind of like, hmm, wow, that's weird. And then they're like, oh no, what happened
Yeah.
was, nah.
And that's so that sounds like too that we're identifying like negative traits sometimes too, that like you're maybe deceiving somebody versus like
Yes.
sometimes I think that we could be, it might be acceptable to be two different people when we're attempting to change something about ourselves, right? Like maybe
Yes.
we are this person and like we don't want to be this person, and so like we're actually trying to be
Yes.
different and present ourselves differently. that might be more acceptable than attempting to deceive somebody as
Yes.
being this person that we're not.
Yeah. True. But again, be, being different is, again, we're not going to count being at work. We're not going to be count being in a professional setting, right? So yes, but also it can be somebody that's right. Put this outward appearance that you're the nicest person in the world, right? And it's just, it could be all a ploy. You can be the nicest person in the world outside. So people say, wow, that's a really nice person. And then you get to your house and then, you're beating your spouse or you're slapping your kids around and you're doing that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, that shouldn't be, that big of a 180.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and ideally, if you are, trying to grow and be a different person or whatever, that disparity would be temporary,
Yes.
right?
Yes, yes,
However
yes,
long,
yes, yes.
however
But
long temporary means,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
temporary can be, 20 seconds or 20 years.
yeah, absolutely. That's
So,
really interesting.
yeah. But yeah, that's what I think. I think, uh, again, and let's not confuse it with, hey, I'm mostly a nice person and I'm mostly a kind, caring person. But if somebody pushes you to a point, or there's a point where you have to protect your family or friends,
Mm-hmm.
you can be that protector. You can switch it on just like that. That's not, this person is a mean person or a maniac or very outspoken. It's not that. It's, I'm a super nice, kind, caring person, but I also set boundaries. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So that's something else too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And and people are not just one thing, right? We are
Yeah.
multifaceted. People
Yeah.
have to have
Yes.
types of personalities within kind of one, right? But
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, I don't like things that are, well, I don't want to say I don't like things, but things are not always black and white,
hmm
good or bad, right?
hmm
You're not this or you're that. That's just not how the world works.
yeah, absolutely.
Nobody's all good and nobody's all bad. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So looking at you, right? Like, how do you describe yourself? Not using, your job, your roles as
Yeah.
like dad, partner,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, who are you?
Yeah. I really don't know. I think generally, um, I'm a caring person, but there's a lot of times where I just don't care about certain things to even make it a big thing. So yes, I'm a caring person. I feel like I'm a nice person, but at the same time, I can be harsh. I can be mean. I can be protective when I need to be. I'm not like that all the time. So again, I'm not all good. I'm not all bad. I don't know if I'm a good guy or a bad guy. I always joke all the time and say, I love being the bad guy. And I only say that because I love being the truth teller. I love being the person that if you're going to ask a question, I'm going to tell you how it is or how I feel. I'm not going to be mean or rude, but I'm going to tell you that, hey, what you said was wrong. What you said to this person was wrong. What you did to this person was wrong. Or what you did to this person was right.
I think that everything that you've described sounds like you're
Yeah.
saying that you're kind, you're
Yep.
stern, and you're reliable.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
That's what that sounds like to me, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that being, whatever protector, right, or telling some, or being harsh, right, some of those things, right,
Yeah.
like I think that's that stern word. And if somebody's stern, it doesn't mean they're no longer kind,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We can be two
Those,
things at the same
those
time.
coexist, right? Because
Yeah.
stern doesn't mean calling you names, right? Stern doesn't mean, punching somebody in the face
Exactly.
when
Yeah.
they made you a little bit mad, right? Like stern is
Yeah.
just being able to hold somebody accountable without giving them
Yeah.
excuses.
Exactly. All right.
So
Yes is yes. Make your yeses yes and your no's no. Sometimes sometimes you have to explain to people no because this or yes because this, and
mhm,
sometimes it's no because I said no. I'm not giving you a reason. The answer is no, or the answer is yes. That's just how it is.
yeah, sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. Like,
What about you?
yeah, I mean, to describe myself, I also, I don't know, I usually describe myself as somebody that is very just, one, calm. I'm very, like, go with the flow for the most
Hmm.
part. Like if somebody wants to hang out and sit around and do nothing, like I'm down for that. We want to go on a bigger adventure, I'm down for that, right? Like I think my biggest descriptors, right, are calm, kind, and really just like kind of really enjoying outside.
Yeah.
Those are
Okay.
that is how I would describe myself, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, we should have. Oh man, I should have described you first, and then you should have described me, and then we'd have said, "Oh man, oh yeah, 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 yeah." Okay, because that's see, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, I would describe you as mostly like, eh, relax, even kill,
Yeah,
right? Even kill, cause right, I've never really seen you turn up, like hey, turn up, it's in the, I never seen that. But again, I've never seen you like, oh man, this is bullcrap, man. I hate this, man. Oh, this is so, oh, I can't. Oh, why, God? Like I've never seen that. It's always been like, this is going good. It's going smooth. I like it. This is not going that good. Could be worse, right? So
yeah.
it's like it's like that, right? But again, I mean, I think that's a good way to be too.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and I think that the concept of even kill too, I think that is very such like an outward presentation. Of
yeah,
course, like you described, right? We have those ups and downs. We have these things are going great, these things are not going great, right? And I have my coping skills, my support, right? I have my people that like were
yeah,
displaying some of those varyingness too, right? Like
hmm,
I can call you and be like, hey, this is what's going on. This is really hard. This is really stressful,
yeah,
right? But it never really does come out of that space of like, this is still how I present as a person,
hmm,
right? To myself, to others, right? So
okay,
yeah, I think that it would be a good description. And based on
hmm.
yours, right, like your description of yourself, do you think that is also how other people describe you?
I think people will describe me as, and I don't know because this what I think. First off, I really do think people. I know people will describe me as reliable because my mother always told me, do what you say you're going to do, and at the same time, don't what you say you're not going to do.
Hmm.
So if I tell you, yeah, I'll help you with this, or I'll knock that out, or I'll take you here, or I'll help you do A, B, and C, then I'm going to help you do A, B, and C. But if I say, there's absolutely no way that I'm doing that, the only way that it would happen if Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, comes down in the flesh and says, yo, Peasy, just give it a try. And then I'll be like, say less. But other than that, if I say no, it's just no, I'm not doing it. If
Uh-huh.
somebody asks me to taste something and I say, I really don't want to taste it, I'm not tasting it, right? I'm just not going to do it. And that's just me. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not going to do it. So I think reliable, I think thoughtful. And when I say thoughtful, I don't mean like thoughtful, like, oh man, he's give me like gifts and he gives our child's gifts and cousins gifts and he really thought not like things like that, but like thoughtful, like you're gonna ask me a question and I'm gonna think about it and I'm gonna give you A, B, and C, right? This is what I think here, this is what I think here, this is what I think here. So I'm gonna give you all this information and then you can decide what you wanna do with that information. Right. So I'm going to kind of think about situations that you may need help or you're happy about something
Hmm.
or something happened. Right.
Right.
And then I would say, of course, funny. Right. I mean, obviously. Right. I would always say funny just because that's just I'm not funny like haha tell me a joke, but I'm more like situational, funny, like witty
You,
funny. That
you and
that
I,
I can
you
do.
and I have the same humor,
Yes,
and it
yes,
works
yes.
for us.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah, I mean, my
Yeah.
biggest thing, right, is I always say, if you're not describing me as funny, we're not friends.
Yeah. What like
I do
listen,
not know
what
you.
do I even know you right now? Who are you?
What? We have never spoken before.
I've never heard of this person in my entire life. I've never seen this person. What are you talking about? Right? I don't care if you have a baby picture of me and you. I've never seen this person in my
I'm
life.
crossing it out.
I'm just gonna cross it out little barely so you can still see my face clearly. I'm gonna say that's not me.
Take the words from Shaggy.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, so definitely people usually are describing it as funny. Is calm is sometimes used, but I think
Hmm.
most often people have been more confused. I don't want to say confused. I don't know. Sometimes people take the calm demeanor that exists and
Hmm.
translate that as like elusive. Like they don't know how
Okay.
to read me.
Okay.
So I get that
Yeah.
more than I get calm
Okay.
because I think sometimes that calmness makes people not know if I'm thinking anything. If that makes sense. Those are the top two probably.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that I get for descriptions.
Yeah, I can see that because sometimes people may not be able to read you because you're so calm you don't let anything kind of get to you, right?
Mhm.
And maybe you have a different way of um like thinking about things, right? You probably take all of that information in and just kind of like sit with it for a while. I'm like, okay, all
Right.
right.
And, yeah, and that's pretty accurate. Yeah, that it kind of just comes in and then like, a little processing and
Yeah.
then it'll come back
Yeah,
out
yeah.
at some point in time with
Yeah.
like a
Yeah, yeah.
response or an answer or something.
Yeah. And there's there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good I think being you and how people see you and being me and how people see me, and because it's very consistent,
Mhm.
if something is going wrong or if something's not sitting right with us and it's that troubling, I think people would say, hey, what's going on with you? Because you're usually calm and relaxed,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But now you're kind of getting irritated about things, right? People are like, oh man, what's going on with Britt? Oh my goodness. Something happened and he kind of bit my head off. So
Right.
is it he's upset at me? Probably not. Maybe it's something. So let me, ask her, hey, what's going on? How's life going? How are you actually going? What's going on with you?
Sure. Yeah.
Right. So, our friends or people that's close to us can kind of see that and say, ah, okay, something something might be up.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Do you have a trait that has existed, maybe it still exists, I don't know, that maybe you didn't like as much and like had to change it or wanted to change
I think back in school, I think it was all I always wanted to. I don't want to say I always wanted to be right, but I was always like I was always fighting, right? Like it had to be some sport, something or something. Somebody said something or somebody did something. I was so upset, and then I would use the smallest thing they did to get upset, right? And I don't know, just probably young and full of energy and all kinds of stuff. So getting kicked out of like baseball games and all kinds of stuff, basketball games and things like that.
it? Hmm.
That happened a couple times, but other than that, fighting during basketball and stuff. Other than that, nothing really. Nothing like a trait, any other traits. I think that was probably it. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing really.
Out of curiosity, off topic, but
Yeah.
how did, of course, you were kind of back and forth, right, between here, our dad's and my mom's versus your mom,
Mhm.
right, and going kind of back and forth. We kind
Yeah.
of know how your mom reacted to your fighting and all of the things that happen in games and stuff. How did,
Yeah.
if ever, did my mom react to any of those things? Did you guys ever talk about
I don't think so. Let me see. I don't really think so. I think, you know what? Yeah, I don't really think so because I know my mom, she went to a couple games, mostly home games,
it? Mm-hmm.
things like that. So away games, not really. And then my dad went to some of the home games. So I don't think it was a time where I would talk to my dad or your mom about I was fighting at this game and this would happen. I just don't think that would I don't think that would come up.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't sure if like it happened, and so dad knew, and then would kind of loop in my mom, and then there would be any sort of conversation about it. But it doesn't sound
Yeah,
like that really
nah,
came up.
no, I don't think so. I know when I think I know when, my parents were there, it was mostly like I'm trying to do the best I can to shine and to not do anything wild or not get kicked out because I want to play, as long as I can
Yeah,
into the fourth quarter.
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
yeah,
so.
no, that makes sense. So really, just focusing on not being as reactive was really
Yeah,
something you wanted to
yeah, I
change.
think,
And I wonder if that
yeah, I
was
think that,
even just like as you were getting older in general, just maturing and stuff like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that was it. Because like by the time I was in like probably fifth grade, it was like nothing crazy. I don't remember really getting like kicked out of any games or anything like that at that age. So younger, yeah, more. But other than that, it was now I want to play. I want to do as good as I can. I don't want to, screw the team over by, a phenomenal player getting kicked out for doing stupid stuff. It just
Yeah,
it just didn't make sense, right?
right.
Yeah. So, yep. Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I think for me, the thing that I think I tried to change the most, and maybe that came
Yeah.
just like maturing in general as well, but like really just like not caring as much about like what people thought of me. I think that was the biggest one that I actively tried to change and have changed from the past, right? And just really just wanting to like fit in, have people that like saw me for me kind of things and just like wanted me to be part of that kind of thing. And like when that didn't happen, it would be really overwhelming. So I
Uh,
actively tried to change that and have changed that. But the one
yeah.
that I think I'm still working on, and I actually want to rewind to that, how I see myself, I use the word go with the flow, which I think is less accurate. And the more
Hmm.
accurate word is like flexible. I think that's the word that
Okay.
because I am not a go with the flow as far as like not knowing some sort of a plan. I don't like
Yeah.
not knowing a plan, and
Yeah.
so that has always been hard for me. And so that I still am actively trying to like be better at. I'm flexible with like, do we need to change the plan, right? Like, do we want to
Yeah.
go and sit at home, or do we want to go on an adventure? Like, do we want to just like be out there and see what happens? Like, I'm okay with like being flexible,
Yeah.
not knowing what's going to happen next, but like
Okay.
I'm not great at not being in control of a plan. So that is something I think that's part of the personality currently that I'm like, I am actively trying to be more go with the flow and not have a grip on like, this is what we're
Okay.
doing.
Okay, so do you think that changes on the day? And when I mean the day, this is what I mean. I mean on the weekday and the weekend. Because on the weekdays, you have to, hey, I got to be up tomorrow at, 7 o'clock. But on the weekends, you don't have to. So do you feel like you try to be more go with the flow on the weekends and kind of like in control more on the weekdays?
No, because I think that like those are different. Like as far as like
Okay.
knowing where I'm supposed to be at work. Like I'm always gonna show up to work, right? Sleeping kind of thing, right? Like I'm always up at 7, even if I have no alarm.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be up, right? So it's like
Yeah.
that doesn't affect me as much. It's more so like plans. Like if you and I made plans for this weekend, and this is what the plan is, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna go do that, and then we get there, and then you're like, I changed the plan, we're actually gonna go do this instead. I
Okay.
might have like 100 follow-up questions,
Okay.
and
Okay. All
that
right. Okay.
is a challenge for me
Okay.
to be
I
like,
see what you're I see
I'm
what
like,
you're talking
well,
about.
I dressed for this, I don't know where we're
Yeah.
going for this now, what's the parking situation, are we gonna have to walk somewhere, right? All of those kinds of things
Yeah.
that I'm trying
Well,
to
those are valid questions.
actively not care as much and just kind of go with it. They are good questions. I'm not saying they're not good questions. I just want it to be less of a major issue.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
want to
Okay. Okay.
still, I don't want to care as much that I can just be like, yeah, okay, let's shift the plan. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and it obviously it depends on the plan too. Because if you say, "Hey, I'm go," like the plan was to go, to the beach,
Yeah,
and we got beach stuff, and then you say, "Oh, plans have changed. We're going to Big Bear,
yeah,
and we're going
that wouldn't
snowboarding."
work.
That's okay.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
right,
Okay.
right. So,
All right. I can feel that. Yeah, because I was just thinking like, say it was the week, say it was a Tuesday, and after work you had plans to go eat out, and you went. The plan was from like 6 p.m. to like 8 p.m. But then the plans changed to, hey, we're gonna go to the a concert, and the concert is from 6 to 2 in the morning or
mhm,
something.
mhm,
That's kind of like okay.
sure.
I'm just not going to do that. That's, I got to get up in the morning. I have to do this. I got to plan.
Yeah,
So, okay.
yeah. I think that I just have a hard time with surprises. Like, I don't want you
Yeah.
to be a surprise. I don't think I can handle
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
But I
Got it. Got
want
it.
to
Got it.
be
Got it.
able to. I want to
Yeah.
be able to handle a surprise.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel that.
So actively, that's one I think that I'm actively trying to grow in.
Yeah. And I don't think that would be too hard to do either because it's kind of like, nah, yeah, you can do it. Unless you're like really one of those people that like, you got a tablet and you have your little calendar with you all the time. Like, oh no, at 3:07 we have to be out, little Johnny. Right
Hmm.
now, that is like you're
Yeah,
doing a little bit too much. Okay,
yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
that's
I think
one
that's
for the
good.
books. But
Yeah, that's easy. I think. Yeah, that's a good one. I think you got that one.
yeah, but one thing we brought up right is like there's like a space right between like who we intend to be right and
Yes.
who we actually are now, right? And how far apart can that be to where we're like kind of like lying about who we are, right? If we're like, I want to be this person, we're striving to that, right? Like, how close does it have to be for us to be like, yeah, I am that person?
I think maybe our intentions. I think that's the main thing. If your intent is to, hey, I want to be this way, I want to be A, or I want to be B, and right now I'm A. I want to actively do things to make me be B because I really want to be B. But if it's like I'm A and I'm trying to act like I'm F and you're doing that stuff, and then after it's time to be F, you go back to A and you're just loving it, right? I think the intent is the main focus on that's
Yeah.
kind of like you're trying to trick people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
and
That's
I think that does point on, what I was even talking about last time when we were talking about intentions or New
yeah.
Year's resolutions, right? That like the personality shift, right? That like we start actively making decisions as that new person so that our characteristics start turning into that person.
Mhm.
Right? So, yeah, that I think you're absolutely accurate. That intention is there, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
know some others know, right, that I've recently had an experience with somebody who was not who they said they were, right? That we will kind of end with that, right? But like,
Yeah.
I've had that experience, right, where like somebody's truly like gassing themselves up, right? Like, this is who I am. This is the type of person I am. These are the things that I do. This is what I want to do more of, right? And then that actively being the complete opposite,
Hmm.
right, of what they are, right? And what do you do with that, right? And so I think that's such a great
Exactly.
example of something that's like you can't be a whole new person if you're still making
Hmm.
decisions like you're old.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The, again, the intent, right? Were you trying to be tricked? Were you trying to be manipulated? Right? Were
Mm-hmm.
they trying to get this from you?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and with you being somebody, right, you're good at holding people accountable, right, and
Hmm.
the truth teller, right? How
Yes.
is it hard to give feedback to somebody who is not being who they say they are or want to be? I guess actually the second question to that is, do you think that's a role for you to play?
It depends on my relationship with that person. That's just how I am. It's now if I really want to, if that person is, doing A, or this person asks a question, or this is, and I see this is going on, I can easily say, I don't know what's going on here, but it just seems like some fishy, and I'm out. And then I'll go. But if it's somebody that I actually care about, right? I'm going to give them information, but I'm going to sit down and say, hey, because this person that I don't know, they probably don't want to hear anything I have to say. And I get it. I understand that 100%. But if somebody that I've known for, years and years and years, and you're trying to play some wishy washy something, I'm 1000% going to let you know that is malarkey that you're doing. And I think it's wrong. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like it, and you should probably do A, B, and C. I'm still going to talk to you and check up on you to say, hey, how's this new thing coming on? Because that little line stuff you're doing, I don't like it. I do not like it. And if you don't want to
Yeah.
listen, then you don't want to listen. I'm not going to like word up.
Would you be okay, perfectly acceptable, if somebody in your life, I don't care if they're close or far away connections, if they were like,
Hmm.
I don't like that you hold me accountable, so I do not want relationship with you at all.
I would say Roger, and I would carry on with my life. And that
Yeah,
night, I would probably like an angel. I would sleep like an angel
yeah,
because cool, right? Because there, you can't make any like you can't make anybody do anything. I can't make
no, of
anybody.
course.
I there's two children that I can make do something. That's about it, and I can barely do that, but I can make them do this. Other than that, you're on your own. You're on you, and I'm gonna pray for you. And when I say I'm gonna pray for you, that was the prayer right there. That was it. So go on with your life. I'm not upset because I just want to give you what you want. That's it. You don't want to say anything to me, I'll be like,
Yeah,
word up. And if it's like, let's say it's a cousin or a brother or a sister, I would still love you, but that just don't mean I have to be all up in your face.
absolutely.
You know.
That makes sense. Um, Coming up on closing here, but I have two more here. So,
Yep.
what part of yourself Speaking of, the fighter version of you, right? What part of yourself are you proud or happy that you didn't outgrow?
What I didn't outgrow is my love for people and love for friends. Because again, right, I'm not all good and I'm not all bad, and I can be mean and I can love people and I can like people. And there's a lot of friends that I have, like, back in, California, and, the places in the military and at UCR and all kinds of places. I'm glad I didn't outgrow my, love for them, because there's a lot. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of older friends from like high school and things like that, right? A lot of
Hmm.
people just don't have all of these friends, and not even all of the friends, but like acquaintances, or like talk to them or text them and things like that. But I kind of do, right? And I love that we all still have that little small connection. So when there's times and I go out to California and I say, hey, we're coming out. It's going to be fun. Let's get someplace and let's get something to eat. And like 30 or 40 people are there, right?
Hmm.
I think I'm super happy that I didn't just, say I'm leaving California. I don't care about these people.
Sure.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maintaining,
I really,
maintaining relationships in
yeah.
general.
Yeah. I think I think it's good,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep. 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 What about you?
Something that I'm glad that I didn't outgrow. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think it is similar in a way, but the part of myself that I am always proud of, right, is my overall communication. Right? And I think that goes
Okay.
straight into relationships, right, and all of
Hmm.
those kind of loaded things. I
Yeah.
think that's something that absolutely can fall off, like you said, when you move on to something, whether even if it's not moving states, right? But even just like when you move on to college, do you leave your high school friends behind? When you move to college and have a career, do you leave your college friends behind, right? And just like moving on forward with everything that you do, and sometimes, and that's what works for some people, right? But for me, that having that ability to communicate and maintain relationships, I think we very much overlap in that is something that's really important. That I'm glad that has stayed.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your oldest? Not. I'm not gonna say your best friend, right? But what's your eldest friend, like the friend you had the longest? Do you still? Is there somebody that you know? And not. And I'm not talking about cousins or anything, right? I'm talking about friends.
Yeah, I mean, my two longest friends, the longest friend that I've had is a friend that we've known each other since birth, right? That like our parents knew each other, our grandparents knew each other,
Yeah.
so we kind of were just born into that relationship, right? And then
Okay.
secondly, the next friend I met the first day of kindergarten, right? We've been
Okay.
friends since then, right? Those are lifelong friendships that I have had, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I think
Okay.
your eldest friends I know is middle school. Is that the longest?
No. 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 It was. I think
It was the
kindergarten
kindergarten.
was one, and I think we just I think she was just a nice person. I think we were in so many classes, and then from kindergarten all the way up through middle school, up through junior high, up through high school, we just been. This is the homie, right? Like she's been to my house, I've been to her house. She's just a very nice person. She's real, and we don't talk all the time every day, but when we do, it's always like something real,
Hmm.
like some like, hey, she'll ask me questions. I'm like, you're wrong. You shouldn't do that. But again, that's why we appreciate, the friendship. And then of course, I think the other one, Kales, that was, think that had to be like fifth or sixth grade. I think that was like middle
Yeah,
school. I
yeah, I
think
thought that's who I was thinking of. I thought that was
yeah, yeah, I think he was. And that was again, guess what? We're about to fight.
yeah, of course.
We were about to fight, and then after that, it was just like,
Yeah,
man, yeah,
too
that's
funny.
my guy right there.
Yeah,
That's my.
absolutely.
And again, we don't agree on everything either,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
We
yeah,
don't.
most relationships don't, right? But anyway, Shawnee. So to close this episode, I have the last question: is what is one word
Yes,
or one phrase that you hope people leave after interacting with you?
man, this guy is very down to earth. This guy is a good, wholesome, down to earth person. If somebody says this guy right here, this guy's a down to earth person. He's kind of like he's just a good guy, all around good guy. That I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll be super happy with that because most interactions are like good interactions with people, right? And then yeah, I think that's it. If they throw on that, and he's kind of funny too, good, right? But overall, man, this guy is he's just a good guy. I really like this guy, and this is a guy that if my mother or my grandmother was in the room, it would be a good time,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And that's what and that would make me feel pretty good.
Yeah,
That would make me feel good. Yeah,
that's cute. I like it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. What about you?
that this is an episode, Shawnee, that I think we have aligned the most.
Yeah,
um,
for real.
my word that comes to mind, right, is really just like peaceful, right? Like I want somebody to be
Okay.
leaving
Yeah.
to be like, okay, I feel calm, like I feel good, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not worried about.
Yes. Like, right?
Yeah,
Like, man. Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
think that's great.
Yeah.
So that's really
Yeah, and I think that also kind of like some days when like that group of people or that person that you were with or talking with would just be walking one day or cleaning their kitchen and say, you know what? Man, I remember when me and Britt were
funny.
boom, right? I, man, that was kind of funny when we were talking about, hmm. And that's that kind of like can brighten up any part of anybody's day,
Hmm.
right? I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I like that. It's fun.
And
Yeah.
that's all we got, right? Really, we have.
Yeah.
I think identity is complicated and layered, and I think actually I'll end with this. It's complicated and it's layered, and like we are ever changing, right? And I saw this guy posted either TikTok or Instagram or maybe both, but he posted this like poem that he wrote, and it
Hmm.
was so
Yeah.
interesting and so cool that it was like his 22nd birthday or something. Obviously a child, but 22nd birthday, and it was like it basically was like I had dinner with myself 21 times last night, right? And it was basically just talking about how like all of those 21 other years, this is the 22nd year, and those other 21 years all are different versions of himself. And it was like, the 16-year-old me was like worried about all of these things that like the 19-year-old me was like, why are you worried about that?
Yeah.
And they were like, none of them, all 21 of them, none of them had anything in common except for knowing me, right? And
Yeah.
it was just such an
Yeah.
interesting poem because it's so true, right? That like every version of ourselves is so different. That like sometimes we look and we don't recognize that person that we were 3 years ago, and we're like, why are you worried about that? That's so stupid, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just really cool. And I think that's such
Yeah.
like
That's
representative of just like the human experience as a whole of just like growing and developing in life.
yeah. Yeah. That is good. That's very thought provoking. Because I definitely agree with him, right? Because we have to change, right? Like, you don't want to be stagnant, right? You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
just this is how I'm going to always be, and it's always going to be like that.
Yeah,
Change is good sometimes,
absolutely.
right? When it's the right
Absolutely. Yeah.
change is good. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, well, next time I don't know what topic we're doing, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, forgot to tell you, almost died. Okay, I almost died.
What a way to end
Okay.
the episode.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that on next week. Come back to see how I
Should I
almost
put a to be
died.
continued to be continued on the end of this episode?
To be
All
continued. Dun
right.
dun dun.
Great. Thanks.
Oh my goodness.
See you soon.
Right. All right.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining everybody. Sim Chat
Next
Podcast.
time,
We'll
guys.
see you next
Thank you so much.
time. Okay. Love you.
All
Bye.
right. Love you. Bye.